And what city are you in?
San Jose.
Okay. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area.
Are you single? I got somebody for you in the Bay.
Well, yes,
Don't
I'm
do it,
single,
and
but
don't do it, and don't do it.
I don't have sex. I don't have
Najee,
sex,
aren't you in the Bay?
so
Yeah, I'm in the
I might not
I'm
be
in
his
flat.
type. I don't sleep with
You
people.
funny.
Don't sleep with who?
I don't sleep with men when I'm dating, so I might not be his type.
She's celibate.
No. I'm abstaining until I meet the right person.
How you know
Okay,
There he is.
how
that's
don't
like
you
the
know
same
he
thing, right?
might be the right person?
When you say the right person, you mean a man that you want
Did
to
you
marry?
just judge him like he's just a hoe?
Yeah, you
I
definitely
did.
just
I
judged him.
assumed. Yes, I'm sorry. I assumed as a black man he would expect me to give it to him.
Hey,
If I
And the
didn't,
and
plot
don't
I'm
thickens.
sorry.
hey
I'm
and
sorry.
Hey,
don't
Lapeef, you
be
got a
It's
new
not
you
even
got
a
a new
black man
show.
thing. I
You
think
got
it's
a
a.
new show.
I think it's a modern man thing, to be honest.
Wait,
and
she's talking about me?
don't be a Angela and just judge men, man. That's not right, man.
Okay. Let me bring it back. Right. I've, when you hear women
Don't be
say, "I
judging the
don't,"
man.
We could barely hear you.
would you take a woman seriously if she said, "Hey, I don't want to have sex until I'm married," or would you immediately say, "Oh, she's probably a and like black men?" I feel like there's an expectation in modern dating to be willing to like give it up immediately, and if you don't, well, I'm just gonna trade you in for someone who will. And I I think the person who I'm going to love will be patient with me. And I don't. It's very well in the Bay Area. It's very hard to find. So I don't really want to be put in positions where like that's the expectation, I guess.
We're not gonna act like she lying though. It is an expectation for most people that you bust it open at some point.
Which is
I
weird.
think that I think that that's weird. Because if you don't want to genuinely give it to me, then what the fuck is the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm communicating with you, if we're talking, we're in the talking stage,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to genuinely give it to me, and I get upset about that,
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's more so something that man needs to deal with. You know, your G just not right. You know what I'm saying? It's
True.
you need to do some work on yourself,
True.
or
Ain't nobody got time for
you
that.
need to, or you need to find something that's easy and some low hanging fruit.
Well,
I, I don't want
But what
I don't
I'm
want to
not
crack.
saying I'm not.
she didn't say that she genuinely didn't want to give it to him. She said
Yeah.
that she's just being disciplined. That's all.
Right, and the and I agree with you. The right man will. I believe. I would not want to sleep with him. It'll be very difficult for me to be disciplined with him. I just
That's
think
my
that,
point.
Right, man. Get them
but I don't
draws
want
down.
men. I don't, because men move with this intention, like, oh, you need to prove yourself to me, and the very first step is
Right,
let
man.
me
Get them
smash,
draws
and then
down.
once I smash, prove yourself, and I'm like,
But Anne, I asked you earlier. I mentioned earlier that you should be in a relationship with yourself, and you're like, how can you do that?
I don't think
Like,
I'm in a relation. Wait, okay, so I apologize. How did you? Because the way I interpreted that, it sounded like,
Right,
oh,
man. Get them
I don't
draws
need a,
down.
I don't need
he
to.
said, let a man get them drawn.
I don't know. I rather like this independent. I don't need a man type thing, and I don't think that about myself at all. So, like,
Shout out to you, Ann. Shout out to you.
Shout out to
like you
you,
can.
Anne.
Okay, so how did you mean that?
You want mute, Angela?
Shout out to you with the soundboard. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You've been
Najee,
consistent.
Najee, how can you help her with how she can be in a relationship with herself and why it's more important than thinking she's in a
Well,
relationship with someone else?
Because it's understanding the aspect of the person that you're in a relationship with only exists inside of your head because you already have a preconceived idea of how you want a person to be based on that title that you label them, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's almost like that person is a character or an actor playing a role. But once
Wow.
that person no longer lives up to that role that you have for them to play, your perspective of them will shift. So now you start to realize you're never actually in a relationship with that person. You're in a relationship with the idea of who you wanted that person to be based on all the stuff you've experienced up until this point.
I
So
agree, and that's
But
when the real love shows up. Because then I have to get out of my own ego, the relationship and idea that I have of this person, and actually see who this man is, and if I can love him, regardless if he satisfies my fantasy. That's when the real love shows up.
But what I mean, or what she said, what she meant about being in a relationship with yourself. Because once you eliminate that fantasy idea of who that version of the guy that you wanted them to be, and you actually start to connect to him for who he is, you start to realize he's his own person, and you're your own person, and you're able to see them for who y'all are within yourselves versus almost like.
I never heard
Well,
the relationship within yourself being that though. I never heard of that being,
exactly.
That.
What I really hear is, oh, you are asking me to change the relationship that I have with myself, therefore you must go. Where I think I am willing to recognize that I can love myself all I want, but until I enter that relationship with that person, I will not even be able to see the spaces and the gaps in who I am. I need to be in relation with him because his expectations and who he really is will actually mirror back to me how I can change and grow. I can, and that requires another person, right?
But
Well, that's the same thing with dad and your
I don't
parents.
even know what my needs are if I wait. What was that?
I think that starts with your dad and your parents, the validity of who you are.
But the way my father
No.
validates me is not how my man is going to validate me.
Yeah,
Right?
I think we're removing the fact of, and I think somebody had mentioned this earlier, but I think we're removing the fact of everything in life is of polarity.
Thank
It's
you.
of balance. So the person that me personally I would choose is going to be different from what I am, because that now creates a duality and where opposites attract. And just like a battery or magnet, we are both now
Bonded.
powered to do something amazing. So I think that in my opinion, to her point, I understand what she's saying. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. If this woman can't give me anything, then what the fuck are you here for? So I agree with her in that sense. If I can't understand and explore this other part of me that I may not have been aware of, then what benefit are you to me? So I think I agree with her to that extent.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
Viz, when you explain that, you came right after us talking about leadership, though.
Huh?
And then you no, not you, Ann. I'm talking about Viz. When you inserted the fact that if a woman can't do this and a woman can't do that for me, that was under us talking about leadership. Every single person was speaking on leadership. And then that's what you came in and talked about, the value. And then Real Dope Daddy talked about what the way he leads his woman, his foundation. And then you came after leadership. So then now we're going back to the value of Anne choosing herself, but that doesn't have anything to do as it equates to sex. So you even added sex into something earlier.
Yeah.
And that didn't, everyone keeps adding sex as it comes to connection. And that's where I'm confused at, because immediately I said, I will have somebody for you. That doesn't mean sex, but immediately you took it to sex. I'm not going to have sex with them.
I didn't immediately take it to sex.
No, she's not talking about you. She's talking about Ann.
Oh, okay.
Talking about
I was about
Ann.
to say I didn't lead it to sex. She mentioned that.
I did.
Yeah.
Men, good, bad, and in between want sex. They want that is intimacy for men. Why?
Well, I mean, they
It
can
is a
want
sign
sex.
of, does she actually want me?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and they can. I mean, of course, men want to have sex with us, right? But that
But it's
doesn't
bigger
mean
than
that.
just like being in a hole. It's a validation of us being willing to surrender to him. It's a validation that we actually like him. Like men kind of need it. It's not just the act, though it's amazing. It's what it means too.
I think she was she was being decent by saying that. Like most men would want to know up front, like, hey, are you celibate? Are you abstinent? Do I have it? Like they want to know that.
Yeah, but so
Wait,
Well,
so
I think it was the
are
setup. I think it was the
men
setup.
going
of the energy of the way that Najee's on the panel, and I said Najee's in the bay, and she's like,
yeah,
"Well,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not going to want me because I'm not fucking," basically.
Basically, and it's a fact.
And it's
But-
like, but that's not the connection at all. That
So
Okay,
DJ,
so-
trying to make.
okay, that's valid. That's valid.
got a-
But I assume.
I got a question.
So my point was more or
thought you were
less,
trying to set us up in a
connection,
romantic
not sex. I don't relate connection to sex. I can
So-
connect with Lapeef, and we not ever think about
But-
sex. We just have a dope connection.
But DJ, when
to-
a woman
to
says
the-
something like that, when a woman throws something out like that, she's not cutting off the tie, right?
Right.
You have the opportunity to say, "Oh no, he's not worried about that. He's not one of them type of guys." Like if a woman say like, "Oh, you don't want me. I don't look cute tonight," and she wants you to say, "Well, you look good to me." So you had the opportunity to kind of like, say, "No, my friend not like that. He more spiritual, or he religious, or
Yeah.
you know."
No, I wouldn't have
Or
to
he's
say
looking for
anything like
something.
that. What I
Well,
want
hey,
yeah,
dope.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to like dismiss the opportunity. I'd love to, but if it's in a romantic sense, I just want you to know I'm already moving with an assumption that
yeah, but regardless to Najee, right? I'm not saying Najee. I'm just
Shout out
saying
to
in the
Najee.
space, I want you to get in a relationship with yourself to where you don't even have to feel like
I need another
like
person.
yeah. I
But
mean,
can I be
girl, I've gone
honest?
9 years no sex. I'm not
That-
an intimate person at all, right? So
I disagree
it's
with
not
that.
what I'm saying is sex shouldn't be on the forefront. Sex shouldn't be on the forefront of a connection at all. So I want people to just get into separating sex from everything.
That's why she said it though, DJ, because she doesn't want it to be at the forefront. She wanted to make sure that man aligns with that.